into your Scorpio total lunar eclipse that is coming up on May 15th and 16th, depending on where you live in the world. In this video, I'm going to do an intuitive reading of these energies for parents and for children to give you an idea of what's coming and how you might best move through these energies this time. My name is Chrissy Whistler. I am an intuitive, a channel, an evolutionary astrologer, and more importantly, I'm a parent of 2 multi-dimensional magical kids. Go ahead and take a deep breath. Let it out. Take another deep breath, and this time, breathe it into your heart. Breathe in the love. And then as you breathe out, send that love all throughout your body. To go ahead and welcome your spirit guides, my spirit guides, any clear and open channel for any information or wisdom that would like to come through for parents and for children at this lunar eclipse in Scorpio. What information, Spirit, do you have for parents at this time? We have the hummingbird. And here we have, just in this picture, this image, just go ahead and feel into that. Use your intuition and what that might mean for you. What's coming in so much for me is this reminder that even though these eclipses, this eclipse energy that's going to be active really for about 6 months, some of it even longer, it's not an easy time, and yet there is still the joy. And that's so much of what hummingbird is a spirit animal of joy, happiness, almost like new beginnings and transformation. Like hummingbird are these small little birds, and yet they can fly backwards and forwards. It's like they don't stop moving, and they are also so incredibly present. If you have small children, I have a feeling that will resonate with you. They never stop moving. They are so full of joy and life and wonder, and yet they are so incredibly present. And they have this superpower to stop and smell the roses. So right now, if you as a parent are having a hard time, or gosh, even if you're an adult and you have kids of your own, look to the children around you, and they're gonna reteach you what it means to fly. They're gonna reteach you what it means to be in happiness. The hummingbird, abundant joy. So go ahead, if you like, you can take a screenshot of this. You can read this meditation to your children if you like. Close your eyes. Imagine you are standing outside your house when suddenly you see the most beautiful hummingbird flying gently towards you. The hummingbird's body is covered with the most beautiful bright blue and turquoise feathers. What's even coming to my mind about that color, the blue, the turquoise, is his throat chakra. What can your children teach you about your throat chakra? To open, to speak, to shine brilliantly. The hummingbird asks if you would like to sit on his back and fly together. You feel like that is exactly what you want to do. I'm hearing a message coming through with this. This is the time to fly and to fly together. And if you have forgotten how to fly, look to your children to remind you how, to relearn how to trust, how to be in joy, how to reconnect with what it is that you want to do. As parents, we so often put our desires, our wants, our needs on hold. And this is a time where it is both okay and also needed to be a little bit selfish, to care for ourselves and to tune into our joy, our loves. Not just the love we have for our children, but us as a person, me as Chrissy, you as you. What do you love to do? What brings you joy? It's very important for this cycle to connect back to joy, your joy. You decide to shrink yourself and your body begins shrinking until you are small enough to climb onto the hummingbird's back. You hold on to it as the hummingbird takes off. You feel very safe on his back and love the feeling of flying. The hummingbird flies from flower to flower, sipping their nectar. All right, I'm just going to pause that for a moment. Spirit's reminding me that when I initially saw this image with all the flowers that are here, this really is about springtime. Springtime as an actual time frame, and I feel that's both for northern and southern hemisphere, but if you're in the southern hemisphere, I'll let you lean into that and see what that may mean for you. It's springtime, it's new beginnings, but also new blossomings. It's almost like there's been a time that you've been planting and something is ready to blossom and come to life in the spring. The spring season, the spring energy of new growth. Each flower has a different shape, a different color, and a different taste too. All right, what I hear immediately as I said that was each of you and each of your children are these different flowers. You each have different shapes, different colors, different tastes, and not only is that okay, it is necessary in our world. It is necessary for where we are going next to call in and bring in these new flowers, these new beginnings, these new blossoms. It needs to happen. We need to have room for all the colors of the rainbow, all the colors of the wildflowers. The The hummingbird flies to a red flower. He inserts his long bill into the flower and sips its nectar. As he drinks, his body changes its color to red. Then he flies to a purple flower. He sips the nectar from that flower, and his body turns purple. The hummingbird's body keeps changing its colors to match the flowers from which he sips. There are so many different sorts of flowers to enjoy. All right, wow. I am really, really tuning into a lot of the energy of the children right now. There are so many, and they are such brilliant lights and flowers, and they don't fit into the one garden rose. How many of us did our best to blend in? And maybe some of us were even weeds and just strange flowers and dandelions coming out in this garden full of roses that were mostly the same size and color and shape, right? And we bent ourselves out of alignment, out of shape to fit into that garden because we were both told that we had to, and we thought we had to. And this is a time where that is no more. Now is the time to be all the different colors and flowers. It's necessary and needed. The children that are blossoming, the ways, all these different fruits that you have all planted in your lives, let them be different. Let them be what they are. Surrender to the who of who they are. And as you do, remember the joy. And if you struggle to remember the joy, look to the children. For even in the fear and the uncertainty, the joy of our children has the ability to still shine through. But only if you are brave enough and willing enough to open your eyes and to see them and their colors and their flowers for who they are. The hummingbird teaches you that there is plenty of joy all around you and that you can always focus on the things that bring you happiness. So focus on what makes you happy. If you are in that place of fear and you are uncertain and you're scared that maybe you are that weed amongst all those flowers and you're afraid to be seen, try to remember, try to focus on your joy and what makes you happy. At the end of the journey, the hummingbird takes you safely back home. You step off his back and slowly return to your normal size. The hummingbird tells you that you can always call him for another fun ride to remind you of the great joys in life. All right, so let's see what else we have coming through for us and the children. So we have the planet of Venus. The 12th house. Okay, and then we have Leo here. So Venus, this is really interesting because right now we are having the North Node is moving through Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. And while we're having a Scorpio lunar eclipse, the polarity of Scorpio is Taurus. So there's a lot of Venus energy that's coming in right now. Venus is going to be about what you love, what you value. This has to do with nature and energy exchange. Right now, Venus is just entering into Aries. So this is going to be very much about the body and instincts, heightened sensitivities in the body can be, or in the senses, because Venus is also the 5 senses. If you have children who are highly sensitive, they might be really feeling this energy right now as well. Yes, and I'm definitely feeling that sensitivity coming through with this being in the 12th house. 12th house is ruled by Pisces, and Pisces is all about boundarylessness. This is this energy of being tied so much to the collective that you struggle to know where you end and others begin. So there can be this this bleed through between you, others, your environment. So very heightened sensitivity could be on the menu right now. Also, Spirit is telling me that 12th house is that unconditional love. This is that connection to Source, to God. This is connection to higher realms, higher understanding. And now here we have with Leo. Leo is about creativity and creative self-expression. This is being seen. It's being that opera singer standing on the stage and belting it all out. It's the energy of going to the beat of your own drum. Being a leader and not really even caring if anyone's following behind you. So let me feel into these energies with this card that we have here right now. So very much unconditional love. Love of all kinds is really up, but definitely unconditional love. Scorpio can be very intense energies that we're moving through in our world. So if it gets really intense, okay, focus on the Taurus Venus medicine. This is a time to go slow, to go into your creativity, to go into the things that you love to do. When you do that, it's going to help you pull back from that intensity. It's going to help you reconnect to your joy. And as you do that, it's actually going to help ground you so you can actually fly. You will be in a mindset, in a place where you can go and do this. You can follow your dreams. You can keep planting your seeds so your flowers can bloom and bear fruit. And I'm also feeling like you doing this, you caring for you right now, this is actually going to be a service back to the collective. when you care for yourself, when you are in tune to yourself and in what you love and following your own creativity, your self-expression, you will then hold space for your children to do the same. You will also be teaching them how to do that, how to move, how to move through when things are intense and when things are hard. You have the opportunity to teach them how to do that with grace. How to still be themselves, even when things are hard. How to still be in a place of love and trust and connection to the greater all that we are a part of, this world and beyond. And just tune in to this idea. If we all had been given this gift as children, if we all had parents and teachers and caregivers, systems in place that focused on this, that focused on love, slowness, spaciousness, giving to others with that unconditional love, and yet still holding space for ourselves, still being ourselves. Can you imagine where we would be in our world if we'd been taught that? If we had been taught, hey, when things are really hard, when things are really intense, let's do this. Go into love. Go follow your dreams. You do it anyway. To have space for joy even when you are scared. I can really feel into that energy and how much of a different world we would be living in if that were true. If we had been given that as adults, as children to then become adults. And yet now we have this opportunity to give this to our kids. All right, Spirit, let's pull some more cards and see what else we can add to this message. I'm really picking up a lot of those flower energies, all those different flowers and children. They're really strong at this moment. All right, so I guess I'll ask to these children, these energies around me. Okay, what do you want us to know? Okay. Loosen your grip. Coping mechanisms, density, addiction. Let God in. And here we go. We have that connection to God. There's that 12th house connection of source. What else do we have? Baby steps. Action. Follow your intuition before it makes sense. All right, and I'm feeling that there's actually 3 cards. So let me do a little bit of this. Okay. Star family. You're part of a team of souls. Call in support. All right. All right, children, let's see if we can tune into your energies and how you want to add to this. Okay. So, I'm feeling like this is a message coming in for parents, especially, there's almost like 2 layers of this. If you have a child who is one of these flowers, you know, who's so different and so out there, this is going to have, I feel like, a deeper meaning for you, okay? And this is also still true if you have a more neurotypical child. So these the energies of these kids are asking us to be really mindful right now of how tightly we're be mindful of how tightly you are holding on to the old. There's a lot in our world that is currently breaking away, and we are only at the beginning of that. And you may feel like you're falling, and you may feel terrified. And especially as parents, you may feel terrified for your children. And are they going to be okay? How are they going to survive in this world? What's going to happen next? This terror that can grip us as parents for our kids and for their future, because we want them to fly, and yet that might not be reflected. That is not reflected in our world, and that is more true for some of you than others. For some of you, you are falling, and you've been falling for a really long time. Wow, that's a lot of emotion coming through. And I'm also feeling into energies of like Ukraine and Yemen and Syria, all these other places where, wow, you have been falling. And so this has been a much more intense time. So it's this message of surrendering to what is. Even though this might be a reality, you can still also have this, just even a little bit of joy, a little bit of gratitude, a little bit of an opening. Surrender to what is. Be mindful of your coping mechanisms right now. And what you might be addicted to. Escapism, that just popped into my head. The energy is dense, the energy is scary, it's frightening, okay? You may be here, but it's really important that you let God in, let Source in, let your connection to the all in right now. It's very, very important. That will help you just make the way a little bit easier into that faith and into that joy. This is a time of falling for all of us, and for some more than others, we're going to be experiencing that. But we are meant to be in that energy, in that period, and yet do not lose hope. This will not go on forever, even if it might feel that way. And look, here's some guidance on how to move through that intensity, through that drama, through that darkness, that falling you might be experiencing. Spirit and these children are asking all of us just to take the next right step. And you know what? That next step might actually be sitting down and taking a deep breath and letting it out. That might be where you are, and that is absolutely okay. Trust in your intuition at this time. It might not, it will probably not make any sense, and yet trust it anyway. We have all these, the old that's literally falling away right now. Trust in the love, trust in what you love, trust in yourself, your creativity. Even though you might be terrified, trust it anyway, because you are not alone. As we do this, as a collective, as a world, as things fall away, as we free fall in trying to get to this place of joy, taking these little baby steps forward, okay? Reconnecting with our intuition, with our connection to God, to Source, whatever that is for you, at a deeper, deeper level. This is beyond the mind. This is into the heart, into the love that we have. We are absolutely making a way for these beautiful star children coming in. They are here to come in. They are here to support us. You might already have some of those souls living with you right now in your life. They might be your children right now. There's another level of this too, is to call in help. If you're falling and you're lost and you can't find your way out, ask for help. Call on God, call on Source, call on Gaia, whatever it is that resonates you, your spirit guides, angels, and ask, please help me. I need help. I can't do this alone. Because you're not alone. You agreed to come in as part of this soul team so you could hold the space for this to come. All right, Spirit, let's pull some more cards. I actually just returned from the Redwoods in Northern California. So sacred forest energy has been coming through very strongly right now. Let's see what are those energies we have to add to this. Oh. I'm laughing because this is a card I've actually been pulling for myself all this week. We have Toadstill's Growth, and you can see it's number 44 right there. Retreat, Spirit Guarding of Winter. Oh, look at this. Eagle Spirit, Freedom. I can't remember exactly. When I do these readings, I don't stay in my mind from reading to reading, but I'm fairly certain that this one came out when I was doing readings in the Redwoods. And those will be out shortly for you. All right. So, this card, Toadstills and Growth, there is a lot happening under the surface that you cannot see. There is growth. There is this, it's like that fruit that you've been planting the seeds, okay, kind of going back to this energy, the flowers. You've been planting the seeds, and now it's coming into this time of blossoming, springtime energy, manifestation. You've been taking a lot of care on your life. This could be, this is a general reading, this could be your relationship with your children. This could be your own inner work with your inner child. This could just be your inner work, because again, as I said, we can't hold the space for others until we do a lot of our own healing, our own shadow work and integration, which is very much going to be this Scorpio lunar eclipse. This is going into the unconscious, and some of you may have been spending a lot of time doing that. And you've been, by doing this, you are creating a very strong foundation, a very just solid foundation for what you are calling in, what you are bringing forward and blossoming. Apologies. I burp. to clear energy. And so I'm just going to go ahead and let it be what it is. So for some of you, that was a big clearing. That may really resonate. Now, as you're doing this, so this is like Spirit saying, like, I've got you. This is not all for naught. You have been working hard. I see you. This is going to come. You will get your flowers. You will. It's not going to be like this energy forever. And I see you. And it has been hard. And I promise it's not going to be that way forever. And also, too, this might be a time of stillness and quiet. Right? Because before you have the spring flowers coming up from the ground, it is a time of stillness and quiet. Wintertime, right? This is when our seeds have been dormant. They're huddling. Their animals can be sleeping and hibernating. So you may still be in this energy. And I'm also feeling it tying into that Scorpio lunar eclipse. As I said, this is a 6-month energy reading. There will be times when each and every one of us, especially as parents and caregivers of children, we need to go into a time of retreat. We need to go into a time of quiet. This can get really intense. This world, this energy that we are moving through is going to be challenging and intense, dramatic. This is a time of scraping up that bottom of the barrel, falling. Just feels like you're going to fall forever. No one's going to catch you. When the emotions are that intense, slow down. Go into yourself so you can hear your intuition again. So you can reconnect with what you love and what you value. Reconnect to your God, to your source, to nature and earth, okay? Oops. Getting a bit excited there. And that will help you move back into joy. Like when you let that energy in of love, of God, of nature, what you love and value, will have an easier time reconnecting to yourself, to your freedom, to your self-expression, to your joy. It's like this retreating is going to be very important, is that antidote, the medicine to when this part, this intensity is too much. Go and be still. Go and be in your emotions. And let that be what they need to be. That's okay. You even as you do this, even it feels like things can, this cold winter that you're never going to be free of, okay? Call on help, because you are connected to source and you are loved. And I love that this last card here is freedom, the eagle spirit, okay? So eagles are able to see from that higher vantage point. When you go still, all right, and you go quiet and you're in the emotions, however they are for you, however they are for your children, okay, you are going to be able to pull back, to have a higher awareness, and that will actually help you be free. That will help you find freedom from the intensity and from that free-falling energy. This will help bring you into freedom and your joy. I love too that there's this Pegasus energy here. So there is this this fairy kind of energy coming through, right? This, you can go ahead and shrink super tiny to fly on a hummingbird. It's like, yes, Pegasus, flying horses, they're real too. So can you hold space for that magic in your life? Can you hold space for that joy in your life? Can you see through the eyes of your child what this magic is? I'm just tuning in again to see if there's any other final messages that Spirit and the energy of these children would like to come through. may not feel like it, but this is actually the time. This is the time to fly. This is the time to soar. It may just be the first steps, right, of getting on to that hummingbird to fly, because it's not easy. We may feel like we are alone. We may not feel connected. We may be in a period where everything is really quiet and it looks like nothing is growing. But just take that little tiny step forward into trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting your children. If you need help remembering how to do that, look to your children. They know how to do it, especially the small ones, effortlessly. They know who their self is. They have not been conditioned and trained out of their spirit yet. They are still flying. So look to them. Look to your children. Hold space for all the different flowers around you and in your life. The different ways that people show up in the world, their creativity and self-expression, their sun. But you are not alone. You are not alone. I just hear again, look to your children to remember what it means to be free, what it means to fly, what it means to be in actual connection with magic and wonder and all that is. Our children come in as love itself. And let them remind you what it means to be love. That was a very, very beautiful message. So this is your total lunar eclipse in Scorpio, parents and children. If you missed it, go ahead and check out a video I had about tips to help your children, especially sensitive children, through these eclipse energies. Please go ahead and comment if this resonated with you or how it may be showing up in your life. Please like, subscribe, share to any other parents that you have, that you know that this may be helpful for.